Alright guys, today I'm going to show you how to make a zombie head or how to replicate a zombie head for your weapons testing. Because a lot of people want to know how the weapon is going to do during the zombie apocalypse. Is their weapon going to cut straight through the head of the zombie? Is their weapon going to crush the head of the zombie? Or when they actually use their weapon on the zombie's head, is it going to get stuck inside and put them in danger? So I know there's the ballistics gel method for this, where you take your coconut and you put ballistics gel around it, but the thing is that I've actually made a ballistics gel head, and it's just that the method to me isn't really for a lot of people, because it takes a lot of time. It's a bit more complicated, and it's going to take a lot of Nox gelatin. So the method I'm using is just that it's much more simple than that. What we're going to be using for this method is a coconut to represent the skull, and we have newspapers over there, which we're going to modify a little bit just to represent the skin a bit more. Okay, and the reason we have newspapers is because if you strike an actual skull, just a skull, well, what's most likely is going to happen is it's going to shatter, it's going to go into pieces, and it's going to fly everywhere. But obviously that's not going to happen if you actually try to attack an actual zombie, because you're going to have the skin, which is this. Once you strike the skull, the skin is going to stop the actual skull from shattering everywhere. It's going to hold it in place. So that's why we have the newspaper, so we can try to better replicate the whole zombie head. Okay, now let's get into actually making the zombie head. Take your coconut, put it to the bottom of the newspaper, and make sure it's a thick layer of newspapers. And just start rolling it. Roll it tightly, close off this end, and fold off both ends. Now if you let that go, it's gonna open up, so what we have to do is tie it. Got a rope over here, hold it, start going around, go around this way, run back another time, and just tie it. And just cut off the extra string. Alright guys, now what we're going to have to do is soak this in water. And the reason we're doing that is because the newspaper is actually replicating the thickness of the human skin, but once we add water to it and we soak it in water, what that's going to do is it's going to replicate the softness of the human skin. And this isn't just something that I thought of off the top of my head. The part where you have to use wet newspaper, I actually got it from a my martial arts instructor a couple years ago. He's an 8th degree black belt in Taekwondo, and he's a 5th degree black belt in Karate, and he's a black belt in a few other martial arts as well. But anyways, I was telling him that I do knife throwing and I also do shuriken throwing, and I told him my target right now is wood. So I asked him, is that the best way to replicate human skin? And what he told me was, no, it isn't. He said the best way if you want to replicate human skin is take layers of wet newspaper and use that as your target. Then you'll know exactly what kind of damage your weapon is going to do. Alright, so now let's soak it in water. Alright guys, so we just soaked it in water. The zombie head's finally complete. And I know these aren't as good looking as the ones that they had on Deadliest Warrior, but I guarantee you that they are a really effective way of replicating a zombie head. And they are a lot of fun and cheap and easy to make. So once you go out and try them outside in your backyard and you try out your own weapons, you'll see that they're a lot of fun and they're really effective in replicating a zombie head. And you're probably going to see one of these in my future videos as well. So that's it for the video, and thanks for watching.